All right, here's your homework. Let's do it together. 3x plus 12. The greatest exponent is 1, so it's linear. And there are two terms, so it's called a binomial. So it's a linear binomial. Number 2, the degree, the greatest exponent is 2. It's a quadratic. And then count how many terms there are, and there's 3, so it's a trinomial. Here, the greatest exponent is 3. It's a cubic. 2 terms, so it's a cubic binomial. Here, the greatest exponent, I don't even see a letter, it's 0. It's called a constant, and there's 1 term, so it's a constant monomial. Here, the greatest one is 4. This one's a rare one. It's called a quartic, and there are more than 4 terms. We just call it a quartic polynomial. And then the last one, the greatest exponent is 1. It's linear, and there's 1 term, so it's monomial. If you need to, press pause. If you need to, go back again and see each one why that's the answer. All right, adding and subtracting. So first thing I'll look at for adding polynomials is, are they in the right order? Are they in standard position? And then line them up. So yes, these are in order. Yes, those are in order. Just put them underneath each other and then add them. So that's 4x squared. That's negative 7x and negative 2. Here we're subtracting. We're going to put them in order again. So we have 3r squared plus 5r. Subtract 1, and we're going to subtract these. So 8 take away 3, negative 12 take away 5, and then 4. When you subtract a negative, you're adding. So it's 4 plus 1, which is 5. These need to be put in order. So 7m squared plus 2m minus 3. Here, negative 9m squared minus 2m plus 3. And then we're going to subtract. Be careful when subtracting. So when you subtract a negative, you're adding. So this is 16. Again, when you subtract a negative, you're adding. So it's 2 plus 2, which is 4. And then negative 3, subtract 3 is negative 6. You just got to be more careful when you're subtracting. We're going to line this up again. This is in good order. 5p squared. Now, 4 doesn't line up here. So I'm going to put 4 here to the right just a little bit. And when I subtract, 7 take away 5, that's 2. 3p take away nothing is just 3p, stays the same. Be careful here, it's 0 take away 4. So that's going to be a minus 4 when you subtract in the right order. Number 15. Line them up. So this is 4a squared and minus 5. Make sure that like terms are underneath each other. And again, we're adding. So 3 plus 4 is 7. A little blurry there. Negative a plus nothing is just negative a. And then 3 plus negative 5 is minus 2. All right, last one here, adding and subtracting. Line them up. So 3w, well, first let's put them in order. So we have 5w cubed, then plus 2w squared minus w plus 4. The other one, line them up. We have 3w squared minus 4w, and then plus 1, and we are adding this. So we have 5w cubed, nothing to add to it. 2 plus 3 is 5, w squared. Minus 1 and minus 4 added, that's minus 5. And 4 plus 1, that's 5. And you did it. All right. Let's turn the page to page. What's the next homework on? Page 6. So can you distribute here? So a times 4a, you add the exponents, and a times 3. Negative c times 11 is negative 11c squared. Negative c times 4 is negative 4c. X times 2x. X times negative 5. 2 times 1, and then add the exponents. 2 times negative 4, and then add the exponents. Now, there's an extra fun one down here in geometry. See if you want to look at it with me. And it says write an expression that represents the area of the shaded region. Now, area is length times width, and we have a big rectangle and a small rectangle. So the big rectangle, the area would be 3x plus 2 times 4x. And then you'd subtract the small rectangle, which is 2x times 3x. So you have the big rectangle, subtract the small one. I'm going to distribute here. So 4 times 3 is 12 and add the exponents. 4 times 2 is 8 with an x. Here, 2 times 3 is 6 and add the exponents. And when you combine like terms, x squares, 12 take away 6, and you have your answer. So there is a expression that represents the area of the shaded. The big rectangles subtract the small rectangle. All right, last page for your homework, page 9. Just practicing that we're comfortable foiling, right? So we can draw this out. X plus 2 and x plus 7 and multiply it out. X squared, 2x, 7x, and 14. Then combine like terms. So that's x squared plus 9x plus 14. Same thing here. Draw it out. This is x plus 8, x plus 3, multiply it out. And then combine like terms. We have 1x squared, x's. We have 3 plus 8, and then 24. We're going to draw it out. You should press pause if I'm going too fast. You shouldn't copy what we're doing for homework, but you can check your answers and get support. B times b is b squared. 4 times b, negative 2 times b, and then 4 times negative 2, and then combine like terms. So b squared, that's positive 2b, and subtract 8. So again, you should be pressing pause or doing it first and then watching the video. Again, we're going to draw this out. One side will be w subtract 7, the other is w plus 3, and then multiply it. And we end up with w squared minus 4w minus 21. Again, we have m minus 5 and m minus 2. So we have m squared minus 5m minus 2m plus 10. So combine like terms, we have minus 7m plus 10. The next lesson we're going to learn to go backwards, which is factoring. So can you start with this and end up with this, a product at the beginning? That's called factoring. So again, we're going to FOIL. So we have y minus 1 and y minus 3 and multiply it out. Remember, a negative times a negative is positive. So we have y squared, that's negative 4y, and then plus 3. Multiply it out. Again, hopefully you're not copying the video, but you've done the work and checking to make sure you did it right. We're going to multiply it out and then combine like terms. So the answer is 2x squared, 2 plus 3 is 5x, and then plus 3. And again, we're going to learn how to work backwards. So if it's expanded, you can reverse it and make it a product like that. The next lesson, here we go. Again, we're going to multiply it out. That's k and 4 and 3k and positive 2, and then multiply it. And then our answer is 3k squared. 12 plus 2 is 14, and then 8. Again, oh, this one we're not doing, so this wasn't part of the homework. There's 2 variables there, so I avoided that one. 10, let's do this one. Not going to avoid this one. So w plus 6 and 3w take away 4, and then multiply it out. So I end up with 3w squared. 18 take away 4 is 14, and then minus 24. Again, we're going to multiply this out. So we have 5x plus 3 and x minus 2. So we have 5x squared and 3x, negative 10x, and negative 6. And then we end up with 5x squared, negative 10 plus 3 is minus 7, and then minus 6. 13. What happens when something's squared and you want to multiply it out? You just repeat it on both sides. So we repeat, and then multiply it out. That's what squaring means. So we have x squared, 4x, and 16. So the end answer is x squared, add it, plus 16. And then the last group here, can you do 2 by 3? Draw it out. So we have x plus 5, x squared plus 4x minus 8. Then we're going to multiply it out. So we multiplied it out. We have 1x cubed. 5 plus 4 is 9. 20 subtract 8 is 12. And then minus 40. I'm going to do it again here. So the trinomial I'll put on top, and the binomial on the side, and then I'm going to multiply it through. So that's m cubed, 4m squared, 7m, 3m squared, 12m, and 21. So it's going to be m cubed. 3 plus 4 is 7, m squared. 12 plus 7 is 19, and then 21. All right, keep practicing here. So let's multiply it out. That's negative 28. Hope you can see that. 4x, negative x squared. Negative and negative is positive, and negative 1. So we have 4x cubed, negative 28. I know it doesn't look like it. It's 28. And negative 1 is negative 29. 7 plus 4, 11. And then minus 1. So we have 2h and 3. And we have 2h squared, 3h, and 4. So we have 2h cubed, 6h squared, and 8h, 6h squared, 9h, and 12. This is 17, and then plus 12. All right, let's try one more time, make sure we know what we're doing. So we have 3x and 2, 5x squared minus 12x minus 2. So 15 minus 36x squared, 10x squared, kind of squeezing it in here, negative 24, negative 6x, and then negative 4. So we have 15x cubed. Now negative 36 plus 10 is negative 26. Negative 24 and negative 6 is negative 30, and then minus 4. All right, last one, geometry one again. Area of the shaded part. You have a big rectangle. So the area of the big rectangle is length times width, which is this. Subtract the small rectangle, length times width. I'll put the x in front, and x plus 7. And then multiply it out and combine like terms. So first on the side, I'm going to go, what's 5x plus 2 and 3x minus 1, and then multiply it out. So I have 15x squared. 6 subtract 5 is 1x. And minus 2. Subtract. And then this answer is x squared plus 7x. Now make sure you're subtracting here. So 15x squared subtract 1x squared is 14. This is where you could make the mistake. 1 subtract 7 is minus 6, and we still have a negative 2. And that represents the area of the shaded part of that shape. Hey, is that it? We're done. Mr. G Math over and out. I'm proud of you for doing your work. You can always go back to a question or practice more if you like. Anyways, good luck on the quiz.